all the stuff that's on my mind. John, you have questions about the like the bigger questions about the meaning of life and stuff, right?
Of course.
JC's here for us.
Yes.
He started it right. He's like, I got a glass of wine with this live stream. This is going to be great.
I'm here to have a good time with you guys.
Yeah, right on. Well, cool. Well, as you jump on live, we've got JC Chanowsky. Jared is here in the house, our co-host John K. And we're going to talk Patriot Illumination. We're going to talk huge convention. But first, we're going to talk about Ireland because you just got back from Ireland, didn't you there, lad?
It was an incredible trip. Ireland probably wasn't on my top 5 destinations to go to, but it ended up coming up in a conversation with my aunt while she was visiting from New York. And after a couple of glasses of wine, we had this great idea to go to Ireland and surprised my dad. So then I told my father, I was like, Dad, get your passport. We're going to Ireland. That's all I told him. And he's like, why Ireland? I was like, I don't know. We're just going to go to Ireland. He didn't know that his family was going to meet us there. So,
wow.
Yeah. So it ended up being 9 of us total, me, Angela, my father, and then my aunt, my uncle, my 2 cousins, and my dad's cousin. And the original plan was to meet in Ireland. We're flying from North Carolina. They're flying from New York. And we're going to meet in Ireland and surprise my dad there. Well, I'm like a master of planning trips and flights. And I found their flight where they're leaving from in New York. So I made our connection, our layover in New York City at JFK. And they thought we're meeting them in Ireland the next day at 9 o'clock. Well, while they're sitting there at the bar waiting for the flight to take off, I walk up with my dad. He had no clue. So me and Angela are walking through the airport in JFK. And all of a sudden my aunt looks over and she's like, what are you doing here? And my dad's like, what's going on here?
That's rich. That is so cool.
So it was a surprise of a surprise for everybody. And we were able to start the trip off 12 hours earlier with everybody at the same place.
That's very cool. So how long are you guys there?
We were there 7 days, flew out Sunday, came back Sunday, stayed in Dublin. We had this incredible Airbnb, like an 1800s house.
Yeah.
And it was about, I'd say 30 minutes outside of Dublin. So it was a nice small area, nice location. The people over there are absolutely incredible, so friendly. The food was just phenomenal, so clean, the food, the meat. The last night we had a steak, and it was probably the best steak I've ever had in my life. But we did all the typical Ireland food, bangers and mash, Irish pie, the traditional Irish breakfast with white pudding and black pudding.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like pudding, but it's not. It's like a sausage with oats.
Like blood sausage. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was phenomenal. I actually made a full Irish breakfast for everybody on Saturday. And I was trying to surprise everybody and just be real nice and kind. And all of a sudden the fire alarm's going off. And it's like one of those old school, the bell ringing. So here it is like 8 o'clock in the morning, and everybody's sleeping, and the school alarm's going off. And I'm like, what do I do?
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, so first you said a house that Airbnb was like built in the 1800s. To us, that sounds old, but that's a pretty new house in the Dublin area, because like the Brazen Head was established in like 1508 or some stuff like that. I mean,
yeah, I couldn't tell you too much history on when and where, but yeah, it was definitely a historic area, the place where we were, but a very upscale area. Even everybody, the drivers told us it's a nice area. And just so much history out there. And I tell you, I was just amazed at how friendly everybody was there. The taxi drivers, the locals, at the restaurants, you name it, the pubs. You know, they do things a lot different over there, but we had so much fun, so much interaction. We learned so much, not only from the local people, but from the Uber drivers that came from other countries for school there. Apparently there's a very, very good school system out there in college that they come there for schooling, and they love it so much they end up staying.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. So what was some of your favorite things? I know you guys did the Guinness tour.
Did the Guinness tour. That was wild how big that place is and how much goes into making the Guinness and how much history there's behind it. The owner, I think in the 1800s, signed a 9,000-year lease on the building.
What?
and it was 43 euro when he signed it. So that's incredible. So there's 300 million bubbles in each glass of Guinness. Pretty incredible. Back right there. What's that?
Who has to count all those?
There's probably some little leprechauns in there just popping away. We got to do the Guinness pour. So we did the classroom where they show you how to do a proper pour.
A proper, yeah. And it's not like here, you're like, yeah, I'll have another beer. And they're like, here's your beer. There, like I got my first Guinness at the Brazen Head in Dublin six years ago. Loved it. And I was like, yeah, I'll have a Guinness. And like 3 minutes later, they're still waiting for it to settle and the proper head. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, it's not a beer, it's an experience.
Exactly. And there's no rushing through it. You got to wait. And that's normal. They're not trying to just do a pour, if you will. They do it the proper way. You start by pulling forward, and then you push it for the second half of the pour because it gives it less, carbonation, I guess. But that was fun. And I think we ended up going to Galway and Cliffs of Moher. So we took a bus ride out there, and that was a 3 hour ride. And just to be able to see the rest of like our part of Ireland, the country, driving through it, learning from the tour guide, and then getting actually out to the Cliffs of Moher was an incredible experience. But Angela and I ended up staying in Galway. Everybody else went back Thursday night. So we got to experience a different town at night. And that was probably my favorite part was Galway.
That's phenomenal. The Cliffs of Moher, what was how was that? Tell me about it. And I have something to share there.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. I've seen pictures, and we only had 2 hours there, which I thought was a lot until you start walking. And we went up to the tower where you can look out on the far right. And then we're like, well, do we go right and keep going or just go to the other side? And so we decided to go to the other side because it seemed like it can go a lot further out. And it's just so beautiful just walking and seeing like a piece of a rock sticking out of the water, and then just continue walking and seeing more of it and how far away it was. And just it really was the weather. I mean, the weather is they got 4 seasons in one day. It goes from cold to hot, take your jacket off, back to cold in 10 minutes. That's all like within an hour. But definitely windy out there. But we loved it. A lot of great pictures, and we probably need 3 or 4 hours there to truly enjoy it all.
Yeah, for sure. When we went, we had a friend that was local that went with us, and he said, before we even got there, he said, one thing you'll notice about here in Ireland, we don't bubble wrap it. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, wait till you get to the Cliffs of Moher. Like there's a pathway with a rail, but the Cliffs of Moher, you got a 9,000 foot sheer drop into death, and there's no guardrail. Like you can just walk up and just walk right off the edge and see you later. I'm like, whoa.
Well, sadly, that was the case the day prior to us going there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and with that wind over there. So that they still have that access available where you can't just walk, and the cliff is right there. And then they put up like a secondary place where they want people to walk, so it's like a barrier, if you will. But it was breathtaking just to see that, and you see pictures and videos online, but then you get there and it's just a whole different experience.
Yeah, for sure. All right, cool. Well, hey, I got so excited about hearing about your trip to Ireland that we get carried away. I want to say thanks everybody for jumping in and joining us live. Jason's in the house. Twinkle, twinkle, baby. Another lighting man like yourself. My man Austin from Water Boys jumped in. Barry Little, good to see you again. Thanks you guys for joining us live. Go ahead and share this live feed into another group or two, and we'll get some more people on so we can have more fun and more people get to learn from JC. So JC, for those who don't know, the guys that are on here right now probably know you, but those who don't know you, like JC's got several businesses. He's got Cape Fear Pro Wash. He's got Patriot Illumination. You're also a trainer in the Christmas light industry. I don't know if it's your own thing, if you have a strict affiliation with a company, I'd like to promote that if so, but you've done a lot of stuff and you have helped a lot of people, and you always find and wear the coolest Christmas light jackets in the world. So let's just use that as a jumping off point and give us a little bit of backstory and tell us about what you're going to be teaching at your breakout session at the huge convention this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So, started in the pressure washing industry in 2009. Way back, 15 years now. Wow, it's absolutely incredible to think about that. And I stumbled into the lighting industry in 2016. I was at a pressure washing show, and I remember seeing the sign that says "We hang Christmas lights" and a wreath lit up. And I just I have a passion for Christmas since I was a kid. It was my favorite thing to do when I was a child. Very unfortunate or less fortunate, and we just drive around, see other people's Christmas lights. And that was just so much fun to me. And then as I got older, I started becoming that guy that put all the lights up, and they called me Clark Griswold back in like early 2000s, mid 2000s, before I even started doing the Christmas lights, because I just love Christmas. I love making people smile, and I like a good excuse to buy more Christmas lights. But anyway, I found the opportunity to start the Christmas light business in 2016, and I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not, but I did, and I fell in love with it real fast. So my father and I started Patriot Illumination 2 years later, after just running with the Cape Fear Pro Wash name, and it took off. It was a huge success, and so we've been doing the Christmas lights since 8 years of Christmas lights now.
Wow.
Just hit over $1.2 million last year in a very small area too, very 250,000, 300,000 people in our local area. But, I have so much fun doing it. I'm so passionate about it. I love talking to people about it. I love getting people excited about it and educating them. That's the big thing, is education. It's such a huge piece of the Christmas light business, because it's not like pressure washing. It's not like Christmas lights. Nobody needs to have Christmas lights up. They want to have Christmas lights up. So we got to figure out a way to be able to engage with that customer on a different level, a more emotional level, to not only, have them trust in you to be the experts for lighting their house up, but, knowing that you're going to do the best job for them year over year over year, because we're looking for that repeat client. We want that long lifetime value. And it's not as easy as just throwing some lights up on a house and saying, "Here you go, Merry Christmas." You only get one chance when you do Christmas lights. You can go and wash a house, do some windows, get something dirty, get a call back and go fix it. We're fine. We're happy. But when you put Christmas lights up and they go to the big reveal, and they got mom and dad over, the family over there on Facebook Live, and they plug those lights in like Christmas Vacation, and it's a big well, they're not going to come back and do that the next night again. So it's so important that when you're doing this, or you're working the Christmas light industry, the business, that you're doing it for the right reasons. And the money's great, don't be wrong, but you have to have, you have to be in it for the customer. You have to want to show them the value that you can give to them through them giving you thousands of dollars to hang lights for them, to take that stress away from them, so that they're raving customers and raving fans for you, so you have more referrals and can continue to grow your company year over year.
That's cool. I've got a couple questions for you. Before I do, just got to say hi to Drew.
Mr. Drew.
From the mastermind in the house. Good to see you, buddy. And Jason down in Florida said, took your advice and got some of the jackets for the bids and the expos. Well done.
I was 2 seconds for putting my jacket on, and I had to get my computer updated, and I forgot to go grab it. So I feel
okay. Yeah, no, you're still awesome, like your daughters.
Awesome, like my daughters.
There we go. So your Power Wash and your Illumination, are they completely separate businesses, separate staff, or do you integrate them? How do you run that?
Yeah, so two different entities, two different business, insurance, all that separated. But the staff, we commingle. So we'll keep everybody busy with the washing pretty much from February till October, early October, if you will. And then into October, we shut down all but one washing crew. And then November, we shut down all washing completely till middle of December. Start back up with washing. And then January, it's full takedown.
Okay, so like Jason's in Christmas lights, holiday lights, and a bunch of people are, and clearly people are going to come to hear you teach about holiday lights and seven figures. But what does that look like? You get 2.5 months to make that's your window. There's probably more than that, but as far as installations and things, like how do you make that work at seven figures too? I mean, that sounds like you've got a whole team of guys in the drill running like crazy. How do you do that?
Yeah, very strategic. You got to have the right people in the right seats for this. You can't just you can't wing it because you're going to have a lot of issues. You're going to have a lot of callbacks, a lot of pissed off customers, and you're going to have your team very upset. There's a very high stress, high tempo, especially kicking into November where it's go, go, go. These guys are working 6 days a week, 10 to 14 hours a day some days. And, you know, when you start letting off the throttle, the gas, and just stop paying attention and stop focusing on your team, that's where mistakes start happening because they get burnt out real fast. And if you're not taking care of them throughout the season, it's going to show. Your customers are going to see it with the work that's getting done. You're going to have a lot of callbacks. You might have people quitting on you. We've done a really good job with culture over the last few years. When we do all this hiring, I've only had to fire one person in the last 4 years, and we've never had one person quit during the season. And it's hard to recruit good talent that are seasonal then say, hey, I need you to be an A player, a rock star, to come in here for 3 to 4 months, perform at your best, give us your all throughout the entire season without complaining, without any issues, and then I'm going to let you go in January. Yeah. So it's really important that when you're doing this, you're building up the culture, you're selling that to the people when you're doing the job interview. You know, let them know why this job is important. It's not just a seasonal job, because if they take it that way, then they're not going to care. They're just going to go around. And it's all about efficiency and capacity. So if they're goofing off all day and taking, let's say, 20 minutes to wrap a column that should take 5 minutes, you know, again, your capacity is going to get decreased. The jobs are going to get carried over to the next day. Customers are going to start getting upset because you have deadlines to meet. So, you know, when our team comes in, we give them love. Like they're there full time. They're going to be there for the next 5 years. We don't treat them as temporary employees, seasonal employees. They're part of our team. They're part of our family. They're part of our culture. And that's so important that had the buy-in for everybody throughout the whole 3 to 4 months while they're there.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. And you just answered half of this question, but the rest of the question is, being seasonal and short like that, like how do you keep them coming back? You said culture, family, and awesome.
The employees?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've got I've got a guy, Parker. He started working with me for 3 years ago seasonally. He came back the next year, and then we ended up hiring him full time. He left to go to college this past year, and he just moved back because he didn't like it. And he's like, hey, I want to come back and work for you. I've had 2 seasonal guys come back the last 2 years. It's all about, like I said, having fun and taking care of them. We know that they're going to be leaving, but that doesn't mean we need to treat them any differently. And we always let them know there's a home for them when they come back. If they want to come back the following year. You know, some people are on that like seasonal lifestyle where they'll go do some lawn care or something that's very seasonal. So they know going into the season that, hey, I need something coming up in September, October. And some of them, if you can quit their job a little bit earlier to come work for us because they have so much fun doing it. And they're going to make a lot more money working with us, especially in November when we're just running unlimited overtime on these guys. They love it. My pocket doesn't love it, but they love it. And it's fun for them. And it just keeps everybody happy.
Yeah. So what do you do? Like if you got guys working 60 hours plus a week, like what are some of the extra things that you do that's part of your culture that keeps them happy?
Yeah.
Right?
So, I mean, we always have food stocked at the office. We don't want anybody coming in tired, hungry, any of that stuff. We want them focused. So we always have water, we have food, we have snacks provided for them. We'll occasionally do breakfast in the morning, make breakfast, burritos. Angela actually did an incredible job last year with the kids, and they made biscuits, sausage, egg, and biscuits. So they just grab them and go. Bring out lunch to them on the jobs. If I'm showing up in the morning, it's pretty good chance that everybody's getting Chick-fil-A that day in the morning. So just these little things that we can do throughout the season, give them some tips, some extra bonuses for doing good jobs, and really just being there for them emotionally and let them know they're doing great throughout the season, and just showing them like this is what you're doing. Like show them the pictures that they did, read them the reviews from the customers that talked highly about them so they feel good about what they're doing. We do the free giveaways. We do 5 houses in October for breast cancer awareness. So they get to be a part of that and giving back to our community as well. And then we'll do about a dozen free giveaways, installations throughout the season too for military families and like families that are less fortunate. So they get to, you know, have that feel good too. Like, you know, I'm not just working, but now I'm providing for these families that need it.
Yeah. That's cool. That's very cool. John, do you do holiday lights as well?
Yes, we do.
Okay. I saw the shirt. I can't see it right now. It's a funny sign said, yeah, exterior illumination expert. Cool. So how long have you been doing holiday lights?
I think 6 years now, maybe 7. I lost count.
Yeah.
I think JC had a year or two jump on us.
You got to jump on it. For both of you, the question, like your first year, was it like a typical learning curve where, I mean, you both got some training. You mentioned, you met somebody and you got some training, but was it bumpy? Was it rocky? Or is this something that literally, not, I don't mean everyone, but somebody that's got a heart to learn, that wants to serve people, that has attention to detail, like Jason, who's on here, Jason Huffner, like, can anybody step into this, or there's a big barrier to entry? Like, what can somebody expect the first go round?
Yeah, John?
I want to say it's a huge barrier to entry. Nobody should join this industry.
Especially in Pennsylvania.
Especially in your neighborhood, right? In your area.
No, I mean, look, the reality of it is, since it's a short, compact season, we need to be able to train up seasonal employees really quickly. So it can't be that complicated and complex, right? We need to simplify it down to its simplest form. And in order to be successful, we can onboard 12 to 15 seasonal employees in a week's time, and they're up and they're out and they're productive and they're doing the installation successfully. So I think, from a business owner's perspective, barrier to entry is pretty low, especially if you already have a book of business. I mean, that's how we started. Like, we didn't start advertising at all our first 2 years. We're like, we're going to try this and see what happens. And we just reached out to our existing customer base. And it started with 25, 30 the first year. And then it doubled the next year, and then the next year, and then the next. And it's just like, it just organically grew. And then finally it's like, wow, what happens if we put some marketing dollars behind this? Let's see what could really happen. And that's when it really got fun.
I think most people fail short by thinking it's so easy and fail to get proper training. And that goes both ways. Not only getting the training for yourself as the business owner, but not giving the proper training for your team. You can go to YouTube University and watch guys hang lights, and it really isn't that difficult to do it. But that doesn't make you the expert in it. It doesn't make you efficient in it. And, I constantly go to trainings year round. Not only do I teach it, but I like to go to learn from people while I'm there. And I'm learning all the time. I'm learning shortcuts. I'm learning about new product that's out there. And, I talked about earlier about efficiency and capacity. And it's so important to understand those things and how much investing in yourself and getting training. And I'm not just talking once. I'm talking like throughout the year, talking to people, networking. John and I talk a lot about how we can better ourselves in the business. But the more training you can do and the more time you invest in your people when training them, and I'm not talking doing 1 day of training. I'm talking 3 to 5 days of training. If you got a guy who's just starting, they might have a $2,000 capacity every day because they don't really know how to do things efficiently. But you got a guy who went to training and did 2 days of training and has been talking to people and investing in themselves. They might be able to do $3,000 a day. So now you add another $1,000 of capacity throughout your 53 days, roughly 53 days of install time. That's $53,000 more you could be doing because you took the time to invest in yourself and your company. So for anybody that's starting out, or even the veterans out there, I highly recommend build out a solid training plan, a 3 to 5 day training plan, because it's going to reduce callbacks. It's going to increase your efficiency and capacity, and it's going to make your team happier because they're going to understand what they're doing. And they don't have to worry about the homeowner calling, get upset, you getting upset with them because they didn't do the proper job because you failed to train them. So it's so important to take that time every single year. And I don't care if they've been with you for 3 years installing or they're just starting. You really have to start from the basics over and over and over, because when you take 9 months off, you forget about these little things.
Yeah. You can get a little rusty and forget, which way the clips go. Right. All right.
A big part of it too, Sid, is not just training your technicians or you learning how to do the installation of the lights, but a big part of it really is the organization behind the scenes, because there's a lot of inventory management that comes along with lights, and a lot of the other services that companies that are getting into the lighting game, they don't have large inventories that they have to manage. So inventory management is a whole new animal that we had to like learn how to navigate this thing and make sure, oh man, we sold more than we have here, and now we're late in the season and our suppliers are out of stock.
Yeah.
What do we do? Right. So like it's a real thing. It's happened before. So inventory management, just JC talked about the efficiencies of installation. So like you start refining things down to like the minutia, but it all adds up because getting the trucks out the door in the morning quickly means they can get more jobs installed. So the more time they're spending in the shop searching around for stuff because you're not organized, it just eats into it. So there's layers of this beyond just the straight up, we're going to hang lights on this person's roof.
Yeah. This is not, run down to Walmart and buy out all the lights in the bag. And it's like, I'm in the Christmas light business. Not a chance. What do you guys? So, JC, I'm actually not sure where you are. I know John's in Pennsylvania. Are you in the northern climate? You're in the Northeast, right?
No, I'm in Wilmington, North Carolina. So we stay fairly warm down here. It gets a little cooler mid-November, but we'll get
to put on a sweater.
30s, high 30s. What's that?
As if you have to put on a sweater.
Yeah. No, we're not getting any snow. No, we're definitely not getting any snow.
Yeah, I was going to ask how you guys handle safety when you're dealing with, like, we've got a roof line to deal with and there's 6 inches of snow.
Can't help you there.
JC's like, move to a better climate. That's how we handle it.
We have 6 inches of sand out here, but not snow.
Right on.
I can't even really speak to that. We're fortunate the snow normally doesn't hit us in Pennsylvania until after we're done installing, and then we deal with it during takedowns, which that can be a bit of a bear. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool. So at the convention, your breakout session, JC, what are you going to be teaching? Why does somebody need to be in that room if they're thinking about Holly lights, or is it a broader perspective than that? Like,
so last year I talked about breaking 7 figures, and forever I thought I wanted to hit 7 figures. We finally hit it, and it didn't excite me, and I don't want to talk about that again this year. So I'm actually going to switch it up this year, and
it's 8 figures.
Yeah, 8 figures.
7 figures of profit.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about I don't have the exact title for it right now because I'm really I just been envisioning what I want to give to everybody there. But I'm going to talk about pretty much like the 5 things you need to be successful and grow your company efficiently this year. That's from the foundation to the training, to the people, to the delivery. And there's so much that goes into it and so many ways to be better at what you're doing. A lot of times we get into the season and then we're falling short. We can't get these estimates out in a timely manner because we're so busy. We're trying to handle so many jobs at once, especially for the new guys just starting, the owner-operators out there that are trying to hire one guy, answer the calls, send out the estimates, do the invoicing, all those things. So my training, my breakout session is going to be for, from the beginner to the veterans in there, just 5 key steps to help you grow your business and help eliminate headaches, because we try and be proactive early in the year. And then sometimes these things just get by us, and then we start becoming reactive, and that's where mistakes start happening. That's where the ball gets dropped. That's where the customers get upset. That's where the inventory gets overlooked, and they go out to do the install, and now we're like, oh, wait, we don't have any 48-inch reeds, and we can't get them for 3 more days, and it's the week of Thanksgiving. Now we can't do the install in this house. So just little things that we can do to better prepare ourselves to be more successful and have raving fans being our marketers for us with our clients. And there's going to be a part of that I think is going to be a real big help for people with referrals. And I think we often overlook opportunities with referrals. And this year we're heavily leveraging using referral marketing versus, Google, Facebook, and other things like that, because with our background, with our experience, and with our clients that love us, well, why can't they market for us? So we're going to incentivize them in a very lucrative way this year because we know it's going to have a higher closing percentage, because whoever they're referring is going to know that we've done a good job for them already. So why not use us too?
Yeah. Yeah, referral is such a powerful, powerful marketing tool because it increases trust. It lowers the barrier to any resistance to sales and pricing. Have a couple of questions and comments pop in from Jason down in Florida. I want to pull them up. And one, he said they love about lights is they're in Florida. They stay steady with washing the rest of the year and then scaling lights, and it gives them a way to feel comfortable growing their business. I think it's cool. And his specific question for you, JT. Do you guys have palm trees in Carolinas where you are?
Not royal palms. Those are those massive ones, I believe.
Those are the big ones.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I would,
but I can get you connected with plenty of people down in Florida, Jason, that will help you out. It's just not my expertise, so I'm just not that good at. I do know a lot of people that find those tree climbers that like cut them and trim them. They network with them and they just pay them per tree to go hang the lights for them. And I've seen a lot of people be very successful doing that way.
That's cool. That's far more helpful, JC, than what I was going to say. I was going to just say, watch Jungle Book again, like watch the movie, and then you know. But
I don't even know what a palm tree is.
Yeah, we live in the woods in Western Montana, and my wife's like, "Hey, can you wrap that tree? It's right by our deck. It's really beautiful. It's a Douglas fir. It's like 50 feet tall." I'm like, "No, I'm not going to wrap that. It would take like 400 yards of lights, and yeah, I'd have to get a jetpack to get up there because it's on a slope. We can't get a boom lift up there." I'm like, "I'm not trying it any other way. No, you just have to. We'll put a Christmas tree on the deck
and sling some lights up there and just let them hang down and call it a day."
That's right. You get it whipping like this,
yeah,
and then spin it out there, and it'll wrap its way around.
You just buy that helicopter, Sid. It's a write-off then.
That's right. You can write it off. That's cool. Well, cool. Well, we need to wrap it up here in a couple of minutes. Is there anything else you want to share, or you do anything cool? Like I thought, just for a second, after spending a week in Ireland, that you're going to change your company culture, or maybe even the name of your lighting to just change it. Like Pints with Lights or something.
Pints with Lights. I like that.
Yeah. Lighting. No lighting.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Irish lighting. No, I mean, Angela and I are actually getting ready to head to Philippines next week to go meet the Unique Genius team, virtual assistants. Really excited about that. That's gonna be a lot of our my talk as well too, utilizing virtual assistants to help grow your Christmas light business. They're super efficient. They're great at what they do. I love that word efficient, but they really are. We hired our first one last year in October, and she's still with us today. If you're not utilizing virtual assistants in your business, whether it's washing, roof cleaning, garage floor coatings, Christmas lights, you're missing out on a lot of great opportunities to offload and delegate some of those tasks to help buy back your time. But excited to get out there, and we're doing the first Unique Genius Summit. With I think we got 100 people coming to this, flying all over Philippines into Manila to grow with us and just have a couple days of a conference with them. So excited for that. But if you're thinking about going to the Huge, if you're on the fence about the Huge, I've been going for I don't even know how many years. For years I sat in the audience. 3 years ago, I said I want to be on stage one day. I had a 2-year plan. Well, that 2-year plan became a 1-year plan, and I was on stage last year. So I'm really excited to be back there. There's so much knowledge and growth opportunities at the Huge convention, not only with the networking from hearing the speakers on stage, but the networking after hours, getting to talk to the vendors that you buy all your product from and learning there. And, I learned so much more after hours than I do during the things because of the conversations and relationships that you're able to build out, finally meet people that you want to talk to. And that's where I always say the magic happens. But if you don't go, you're missing out on so many opportunities. You don't even know how many opportunities and how fortunate you would be by not going and how much faster you can move that needle. If you had a goal and you want to do Christmas lights and your goal was only $20,000, I can almost guarantee you that by going to the Huge convention and, getting into the breakout sessions, listening to me and a couple of the other guys speak, that $20,000 instantly becomes $30,000, $40,000. And that's a huge ROI for taking 4 days out of your busy work life to come there and learn. You're not going to get that on YouTube. You're not going to get that in social media. So it's important to be there and be present while you're out there.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't agree more. I want to look back around to virtual assistant, and I want to put the website up on the screen. Is it Unique Genius? What is the website?
Unique-genius.com.
Okay, let me put that up there. And hold on, I can't type and talk at the same time. Unique Genius-genius.com. Tell me if this is correct.
Yes.
Okay,
Perfect.
good. So, that really is exciting because most of the small business people, they wear too many hats and they don't know. We were talking to Jessa from Jill's office about an hour ago, and she's going to be teaching about delegating. It's like, how do I take this burdensome thing off and give it to somebody else so you can free up your unique genius to get more, do more, be more effective? And we just sent out a state of the industry survey, and people are starting to fill it out. And one of the questions on there is, do you have a VA? Do you use a virtual assistant? And we had to change the language because the first 10 responses, 2 people said, what's a VA? And I was like, oh, it's a virtual assistant. But I'm excited. About 20% of the respondents say yes, they have one. But that means they're 80% of the people that there's this big opportunity for them to improve their life and their business by using that. And so you talked a little bit about it, but like, tell us more about how you can get set up with a VA, what they can do for, like, what are practical things they can do to make your life better?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many opportunities for you and your business to utilize a VA. And Angela, she's so passionate about it in the industry, and part of the reason why I love being a part of the Unique Genius team. And I've got several VAs from her as well too. But we got to think about the things that we shouldn't be doing as business owners: answering the phone, sending off estimates, doing the follow-ups, asking for reviews, these low-level tasks that we should be doing. We have so many more important things that we need to be focused on. Think about the things that we need to be doing better that, again, carry over to asking for the reviews, asking for the referrals, the follow-ups. I mean, so many people just send out estimates. They don't even follow up because they're so busy to do things. And talk about the things that we're not doing at all. Put those things down on a list. And that list gets real big, real fast. And you're like, holy cow, like, I am missing out on so many opportunities. And the virtual assistant offers you a very affordable way to hand off those tasks so that you can focus on, like we talked about, you said earlier, your unique genius on what you're good at, whether it's sales, whether it's training, whether you want to be out there on the truck and do all the stuff and not have to worry about everything else. Come home at night at 7:00 at night, kiss your kids goodnight, and then go back out and do the estimates and do everything else on the computer up till 10 o'clock and then restart over again. And especially in the Christmas light business, we have like October, November, December to cram it as much as we can. And for the guys out there that are doing it by themselves, you're paying for these leads to come in. If you're not getting out the estimates, well, you just wasted money. It went down the drain. If you're answering the phones and you're on a roof or talking to a customer, well, that phone's going to voicemail. You missed out on another opportunity that you just paid for.
Yeah.
Let a VA handle that for you so they can handle the calls. They can do the estimates for you. Our VAs are doing the mock-ups in Holiday Home Concepts so they can do the actual design of the house and submit the estimate for us, so that when we have, 10, 15, 20, 30 phone calls coming through in November, we're able to get those estimates out in a timely manner, because there's other companies out there that are just saying, here, hang Christmas lights, $500. And they're probably going to get the job, but when you're able to deliver a high quality estimate showing exactly what you're doing, give them the value that they're going to get by hiring you, and you might be $1,500 more, but now they can see it because they got that estimate because your virtual assistant set it off. Just think about your closing percentage, how much that's going to increase, and your average ticket is going to increase because you're able to get more on that ticket with have somebody do instead of just putting roof line down.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. And so, and you guys, you train those VAs specifically for the Christmas light industry, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
and
you got people that understand how to get that, like, that's already done. They're pre-installed.
Yeah, for our side. And then with the Unique Genius thing, we've got a back end library for all the virtual assistants. So we're working closely with Holiday Home Concepts, and we're building out like all these knowledge banks with all these other companies that we use, like Responsibid, HireBus, LiveSwitch, so that your virtual assistant will have resources to go back to instead of you just hiring them and say, here, figure this out on your own. Well, that's kind of hard. Now they have a home to come to and talk with everybody in the Unique Genius team, and they can work with other virtual assistants that are doing the same thing for other business owners to be more successful for you, so they can help grow personally and professionally, and help get those tasks done for you.
Wow. So the summit you're doing in the Philippines, that's for the VAs? or is it for clients of yours that use the VAs? Or both?
No, for all the virtual assistants that work with Unique Genius, like John's VA will be out there, my VA will be out there. We're flying everybody in from all over into Manila. And we're so excited! It's going to be a 2.5-day workshop out there, and it's just going to be like the huge convention, but it's going to be for our team and talk about the culture and build the culture and show them their what they're doing for all our clients and show them a way forward with Unique Genius, so they know that that what they're doing is powerful and helping businesses grow. Yeah,
that's badass. I would love to talk to you more about that. That's very cool, and it's unique, and it's in your name, Unique Genius. But we've got to wrap it up. So we've got another live stream tonight as we're leading up to we're 3 weeks away from the huge convention. You guys will come back like tan, speaking different language. I don't know how long are you going to be in the Philippines? 2 weeks?
So we go to Thailand for 3 days and Philippines for 7 days, and then we fly back Monday, pack our bags, and head out to you guys Wednesday.
Right on. Okay, cool. Talk about the jet setter thing. That's awesome. But listen, I appreciate you jumping on. It's good to talk to you. As I haven't talked to you in 6 months or so. So well done. Thanks for
appreciate it.
Teaching at the convention. Thanks for spending time with us tonight too.
Absolutely. Look forward to it. And again, if you're on the fence about getting your tickets, just do it. Can I give away a free ticket? Like, can somebody just need a ticket, reach out to me and I give away a free ticket? Or
you can do that. Like if somebody's on right now and you want a ticket, we can do it now. Or literally, if you want to set it up. Did we send you a code, JC, that where you get a free ticket?
Or I've got one. Yeah, I think I've got one. And if not, we can do it from Unique Genius because we have a couple extra through there too.
Do that.
We will have a booth for Unique Genius there. So if you want to learn more about VAs, but if anybody's on and wants a free ticket, let them comment and we just give away a ticket. That sounds like fun.
In the comments, and what's a way somebody can reach out if they see it later? They're like, get in touch with JC.
Yeah, just go find me on Jared Chanowsky on Facebook and reach out to me. And first 2 people that say they want a ticket, I'll give you tickets.
Awesome. I'll put that in the comments because Chanowsky is a really difficult Irish name. Well, cool. Well, thanks again. We do got to wrap it up and go. And I'll be seeing you in 3 weeks, man.
All right. Take care, gents.
All right. See you.
See ya.